Yo. We got a lot to talk about today, but before we get into literally any of that, I want to hear what you're thinking about the game so far, man. Skate's probably been out for a week or two by the time that you're seeing this video. People have been able to actually get their hands on it. I want to know down in the comments what you're thinking, what you're feeling. If you've seen either of my previous videos, you'll know I love the Skate franchise. I love this game. I had a lot of good things to say, but it doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with the game. You know what I mean? I'm not completely biased. I'm not blind to anything that's going on with it, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to get into a couple of different things that I've seen the community complain about, a couple of bits of feedback that I have for the game, and all around just stuff that I think would add to the experience rather than change it too drastically or get too overzealous. We're also going to do our best to avoid anything that's already kind of mentioned in this roadmap other than touching on it. We're not going to harp on it too crazy or get too negative about it. We're not going to be too overly critical of these things.
Wake up in the morning and I check my dates. I think I must be missing something. I'm a week too late. I could have sworn that it's a Monday, but it's Tuesday next. I think I might should stop the drinking, but it feels like sex. So here I go, let it go. Take the night by the reins. I never listen what a motherfucker trying to say. Let's hit the club, burn it down. Watch me dance in the flames. I'm like blackout for a week, but that's my favorite game. I'ma break my body, these chains on my body won't change for nobody but you. You won't think that I got it. It's straight in my body, pain, but I love you. I'ma dance by myself. It's bad for my health, but I like it. I love you. Everything that I felt, okay with this hell, as long as I'm dancing with you. Already know.
One issue that sort of sneakily reveals itself right away is this starter island. This whole environment, just the way that it's set up is beautiful. There's a lot of really cool flow here, mega ramps, some stuff that you don't really see anywhere else in the game. And there's no way to get back here, at least as far as I'm aware. Having some sort of fast travel point or some way to revisit this island in the future would be amazing because there's a lot of really cool potential here that just people don't really get to see beyond the first little bit of the game. I feel like the skate games have always done a really good job with their tutorial areas, just in terms of making them skatable as well as easy to get through. But they've always been revisitable. I can't imagine why this entire island was created just for us to not be able to get back to. I mean, even in Skate 3, you could get back to the skate school, and those were just like lines of concrete with some rails and stuff. So having all this work at least look like it was put into this island, it's a crime that we can't get back here. Now back to that roadmap that I mentioned before. A lot of the things listed in here as updates that will be coming are left purposely vague in terms of their verbiage. In the Discord, there is game announcements where they list in more detail the bug fixes, things like that, updates that come to the game in way more detail than this. One thing that I want to talk about that I actually talked about in my last video is the replay editor. As it stands right now, when other players put down props, ramps, rails, things like that you can move around, those will show in your replay editor as this VHS-y style thing. I would like to see an option to get that removed where I can't see any props at all during my replays, but that's just a quick one. Another couple of quick bits before we get into some more long-winded criticisms. Constantly being online on this game is definitely something that I'm not always going to be fond of, for sure. Skating with other people and getting into the community is really awesome, but I understand definitely that it's not for everybody, and it's not really even ideal. It does kind of tie into the replay editor thing, where if people are putting props down or just standing in your fucking way, it could ruin a clip, you know? It kind of sucks. Having a way to either skate by yourself or just have a private session, I'm sure may be coming at some point, but as of right now, it's something that you just kind of have to deal with, unfortunately. Now, for this next part, I really need you to try not to flip out. We're talking about body flips. No matter how fast you're going, no matter how high you go, you're never going to be able to do more than one flip, at least as far as I've experienced. Shout out to my boy Squish for grabbing this footage, getting a little crazy for me while I was doing some other stuff. In the old skate games, you could do multiple backflips, multiple front flips, things like that. And even right here during this clip, you see it pulls up a double backflip, but you can't actually get those rotations in. On this one, it feels like the game almost calculates how you need to flip for you. You could be going 100 miles an hour, you jump off something to go for a double backflip, but it rotates you really slow, almost in perfect line with wherever you're going to land. In a franchise so heavily built around your enjoyment, how you play the game, creativity is your limit, Not being able to do more than one body rotation feels like a real step backwards, honestly. With how many more settings we have control of when it comes to tricks and your camera and your graphics, it feels really strange that flips have been kind of left out of that. Hopefully that changes soon. With Season 1 being officially available, the Dime Park has been removed, and that's kind of a perfect segue to talk about these community parks. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody skating any of these community parks for longer than a few minutes. I can't say that I've ever seen anybody saying anything good about these community parks. All the ones that I've seen in my personal experience have just been some of the worst skating spots on the entire map. The harsh blue and yellow colors make it really hard to see. All in all, these things are just not really for me. I don't know who's in charge of putting them together or who's in charge of making them or who decided that they needed to be this crazy harsh color, but let's utilize these spaces a little bit better. Either get some actual street spots going in there or get some players to be able to create some stuff there. Open it up somehow to where these aren't just big chunks of the map where people are going to scoff every time they see it. We're only a few updates into the game, and a few of them have already made the game worse in some aspect. There's been visual updates for the color correction and just the overall feel of the game, which have been nice. But multiplayer's gotten harder and a little bit more unstable. Same thing with the replay editor. It's harder to keep your clips stable now. Before, it used to give you just a quick stutter at the beginning, and now it feels like my clips at least are stuttering all the way through, which makes it really hard to record stuff smooth and cinematically. I feel like with the different currencies that they're adding through the Battle Pass or the Skate Pass or whatever you want to call it, a lot of these menus get more and more confusing with the more clutter they add, and that's never going to be a good thing in my opinion. Now, let's not get confused. I still really enjoy the core gameplay of Skate. You know, just going around, doing my thing, getting clips where I want to. But that's not going to satisfy everybody. I understand that. With the missions freezing your game more often, with your game just taking longer to load up in general, with it being harder to play with your friends and do your thing, the game's getting objectively worse. It's clear to say that. I really do have high hopes for this series and that they turn it around and kind of balance out the fun that they had at the beginning and the problems that they're going to meet in the future.
But you can survive and flourish in your own hell. Make it your own creation. Find pleasure in your pain, for pain is just a product of pleasure. Give in to your pain. Submit to your vice. Submit to your hell, and you will see salvation, joy, pleasure, peace.
Everybody wanna play, they all got something. I'ma drop another hit, watch them take their seats. I could fly across the world, baby, that ain't nothing. Cause they all gon' know the name every time I speak. I fuck around and make it bang, see the flames when I'm burning it down. You a lame, turn a stain to a memory now. I'ma blow my fucking brain, stainless coated now. Little shawty dirty space, your knees went straight to the ground. Never gonna fall. I see them again, don't kill me where I stand. Still be screaming, fuck 'em all. I do it for you, put the pistol in my hands. Shawty leave that red light on for me. She know I'm coming, make me drop down, I can't speak. Girl, you better love me for the daylight come. You see my blood dripping up your teeth. Everybody wanna play, they all got something. I'ma drop another hit, watch them take their seats. I could fly across the world, baby, that ain't nothing. Cause they all gon' know the name every time I speak.
All in all, I think the future of this game is a balancing act. There's going to be updates that people like, there's going to be updates that people don't like, there's going to be updates that fix and break the game. All that's really left for us to do is play it if we want to, don't play it if you don't want to. Again, it's a free game, it's one of those things. They're going to figure it out, hopefully, fingers crossed that things get better. But if you've made it this far into the video, I cannot thank you enough for that, man. That means a lot to me. Unfortunately, the output of videos is going to slow down a little bit just because, you know, life stuff. So if you've stuck it out this long, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, keep an eye out for any new content coming to the channel. Just because it's slowing down doesn't really mean that it's stopping, and Skate is a game that I'm always going to enjoy, so at least there will be videos on this, if not other games that I play. Truthfully, when I do have time, you're way more likely to find me on Twitch, so if you don't follow me there already, please consider it. But as always, I appreciate you guys for sticking it out. Check the description for any collaborations from this video. I will see you next time. Deuces.